So, how is the industry different today from when you first started?
Them damn YouTubers and people
Oh
on
my
Instagram
goodness.
and TikTok. I can't stand them.
Everybody's educated the world that it exists, and I'm really, really grateful for that, because the YouTube content, even if it's not teaching.
That's one thing Richard says. He's happy that people, are putting the word out there about junk removal, about the industry. Creating content makes people aware. It also creates competition. We got to go out here and compete, baby. We got to go out here and compete for the client's attention. We got to go out here and compete for the client's business, and then we have to go out here and compete for the client's repeat business, because there are a lot of companies out here doing their thing in junk removal, and we want to make sure that we are at the forefront. We are at front of mind when it comes to junk removal, especially here in El Paso, because I want to be, if we're going to grow a national business, if people are going to know about us, I want it to be known that we are from here. We are from El Paso, baby. And we took it by storm all the way out here from El Paso. But yeah, let's get back into this.
Somebody how to learn to do junk removal, which it has. It's opened the door to opportunity for so many people who, stuck in a 9-to-5 job, hating it, not sure what to do, but they need a paycheck. It showed a lot of people that you can work for yourself, and you can do good in your neighborhood and your community, and you can give back in a lot of ways. And there's a lot of guys out there doing really cool things. I think of a landscaper who goes around landscaping places for free, cutting grass, and it's very satisfying for people to see, look, he found a sidewalk. Or
yeah, that guy, my dad sends me videos of this guy. I don't know if it's the same guy he's talking about, but he goes around, he creates YouTube videos, and he cuts people's overgrown properties and yards for free, helps them whatever situation that they're in. Just like, now we charge for our service. Maybe one day, if we can grow a business to where we can go out here and supplement an income based off of what we're getting off YouTube and not have to charge a client for it, then we'll see about that. But those guys go out there and they'll do it for free because they're using that content for their YouTube videos to then make a living off of. Here we're going out here to create videos so that people know what we do, who we are, and they can make a decision off if they want to call us out for our services. But we're not there yet to where we can do stuff for free. We'll see about getting there.
Or whatever it is. And he does that because it promotes what he does, but it's also very entertaining and educational as well. So I think that the YouTube communities and people sharing all over the place has helped. It has its downsides at times when there's over glamorizing and under educating. There's a mix of things that can happen, but
over glamorizing, if you ask me, all of these gurus out here, a lot of people who have been in business, for 1 to 5 years. And I'm not saying I'm a guru. I'm out here creating content. Like I said, I wanted to be able to live, work, and play from home. Creating content for what we do out here in El Paso, which is junk removal, is the work. The content is the work. Me going out and playing or driving my F-250 or the company's F-250 and the trailer and breaking up stuff. Now, it's hard work. Got to go out here and sweat. Sometimes there are a lot of jobs. There was a job that I had to do out, a desert clean out. I don't know how all that trash got out there. Not sure if some people were living out there or if the wind blew everything out there, but it was a lot of going out there, raking up and scooping up and putting trash into trash cans and then dumping it into the trailer. It was a very hard job, but I got to do some off-roading with the F-250. Got to put the F-250 into the 4-wheel drive. Got to drag the trailer across some rough terrain. Got to use the equipment for what the equipment is made to be used for. So I get to play around with those toys. Yeah, I got to go out there and do some hard work, but to me, that is the play. Here right now, creating this content, sitting over here for more than about an hour to get content created. This is the work, and then going to go out here and then got to do all of the back end stuff. But I'm falling in love with the work, and then still going out here, gaining some knowledge, and then learning, sharing what I've learned with you guys in this type of way, and repurposing this content in this type of way.
I think it's also educated a lot of people to the fact that the industry even exists. In 2000 to 2005, the most common thing I heard on the phone was, "Oh, I didn't even know there was a business that did this." And
And we still hear that. We still hear that here in El Paso. Didn't know that there was a business that did this. And I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I know that I see a couple of franchise guys that we have here, they be out and about. We do have the junk luggers. But when it comes to the rest of us, a lot of us doing truck and trailer. So I'm pretty sure some of the other guys out there, they might hear the same thing. I didn't know that there was people out here doing this.
people didn't search for junk removal as a keyword because they didn't know there was such a company. And in fact, got junk when they first started. Brian Scudamore said, "Hey, I need some competition. I need someone else to go start a business like this because competition breeds awareness. And the more awareness we have, the more people will find us. And
The better, because now we got to all go out here and compete. We need some competition so that we can start drumming up business on the website. People calling us out. They call me out for an estimate. They call you out for an estimate. See where we land. See who's going to do the better job. Like, I like going out here and compete. That's one thing I learned from my youth. When it came to sports, I didn't want to impose, like my will or whatever, or go out here and practice to become the best at what it takes to become the best at what we do. I've taken those lessons from my youth and now starting to apply them to the entrepreneurial game, because the entrepreneurial game is almost like sports. You're going out here, you got to be the best at what you do, and you got to be able to compete, and you got to do it face to face, mano a mano, man to man, woman to woman, and you got to be able to then, once you land or get a job, deliver on the service that you said you were going to do for that client, and then try to retain them as a repeat client in some form or fashion. So it's all about business, going out here and competing. But yeah, I love seeing the new guys out here with the fresh trucks and trailers and all of that type of stuff. Yeah, let's go out here and compete. Let's see who made the best man win. They a lot of people got an advantage over me here, especially in El Paso, because they speak Spanish. But now I hear that Apple's new AirPods can translate, and if I can get people to meet me halfway, I can learn, start learning me some Spanish, but I can start understanding what you're saying. Maybe the new iPhone, when it come out, I'm still working off the 15. Maybe I use Google Translate if need be. But man, all of these new pieces of technology coming out to help you, with the translations and things. I think we might be in business. We can work some things out.
so I think that YouTube and Instagram and all the posting that happens in this space is to credit for a lot of the fact that we have people that know that we're around and that they can find a company like ours.
It's funny that you say that, because in 2016, I was working on the Salvation Army trucks, picking up donations. I was going through rehab, right? And we pick up donations and stuff. And a lot of people had trash, stuff that wasn't good that we couldn't take. And I had so many people asking me, who can we call? Who can we call to take this? And that's how I got the idea. Was working on the trucks. And then later on, about a year later, I finally said, you know what, JoJo? We got to start a trash business, because I remember these people kept asking over and over again, like, who can we call?
Repeat clients are essential. I have a bunch of repeat clients who call me out once a month. I have clients who call me out every few months, and then I have my commercial clients who have me going out and doing different jobs on separate pieces of property, who also call me out to different pieces of property for different unique projects. So being able to deliver on that customer service, on that client service, however you say it, and build those repeat clients, those residential repeats, who make sure that gas stay in the tank, and then those commercial clients who can make sure some of those bigger jobs, make sure some of your more important bills can get paid. You know what I'm talking about? And then make sure that there's some profit added to the business. You want to make sure that you are building those relationships and building those clienteles up. And that is one thing that I need to work on as becoming the CEO, the entrepreneur of Dumpster Daddy. When we start building our business and our culture, teaching our future employees the importance of building and delivering that type of high level quality service that people will become and are come to known by from Dumpster Daddy. We don't want to just get a one-off. We want to make sure that you keep coming back, keep spending some money with us, make sure that we are delivering that type of service that our clients want and expect, especially if some of them have not even heard of junk removal and we're their first experience. We don't want to give them a sour experience. We don't want to do that.
But if you're cutting the corners on anything, insurance is a big one, but cutting the corners on how you market or the software you choose to use or the things that you do that help you keep track of who those customers were, you're losing out on opportunities that will continue to come your way. And so I think, equipment is a big expense. Payroll is a big expense when you start hiring help. Finding good people is good. I did way too much for way too long all by myself. I was in the truck for 9 years. I'm going to talk a lot about that at Junk Expo, but
9 years in the truck, man, I'm going on 4 by myself. Like we 4 years by myself, so I don't know, but it's a lot of learning. Then I got to be able to teach it to somebody. Somebody's got to be able to come in and take what I'm doing when it comes to going out, doing estimates, meeting with people, building those relationships with the clients, and then executing on the jobs. I need to be able to teach that to somebody. So, 9 years on the truck, man. I said I was going to be in it for 10, but I want to see how about to grow the business, get 2 trucks. I be in one and somebody else be in one. That's what JoJo does. That's what the Matthew Vick and the JoJo does with the Julio.
I wore all the hats. So I was the accountant, the bookkeeper, the marketer, the business development guy, and the junk hauler, and the cleaner, and the truck maintainer, and all the things. And
but right now, I still love all that. Like once I have to start once we make some money and I have to give up some of those responsibilities, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to give up some of those responsibilities, but I know it's gonna be necessary in order to grow the business.
It is a bigger expense to you personally to try to wear all those hats for too long.
Yeah.
Your quality of life will go down, your family time will suffer, all those things become an issue. And so looking with foresight to, okay, if I'm doing this as a business, do I want to do it cheap or do I want to do it right? Because investing in how you do it builds the quality of what you offer. It also allows you to charge more for your services when you recognize the value of what you're providing. I remember our first pricing points were really low, and they were low for a long time. And I thought, well, it's just me. It's a trailer, and I can do this.
Yeah, I was priced low for a long time as well. What made me definitely raise my price was because we got, once we got into that 250, I need, got to make sure we paying that truck note every month. So we at least have a minimum. And, if people accept the minimum, then we go out, we offer and do free on-site estimates, and we make sure we do our best to offer a fair price for whatever work it is that a client calls us out for.
And you can, but should you?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a cost to you in the short and long term if you keep your prices too low too long. And as you know from all the YouTube audience and everything else, it hurts everyone if you're competing on price. If you're just trying to be the cheapest guy in the town, then it's a race to the bottom and a race to closing your doors. And so you've got to charge a reasonable price. And in order to do that, you have to do some research up front. You have to know what that is. What does it cost you to fuel your truck? What does it cost you to have the commercial insurance? What does it cost you to have a listing on Google and promote it so people can find you? What does it cost you to dispose of things properly? There's guys all over Arizona that make poor choices and use the desert as a dumping ground. We did 60,000.
Yeah, I'm sure that I'm not sure. I'm positive there are a bunch of people here that use the desert as their dumping ground. I mean, there's a lot of open space out there. And sometimes you get some things that you're not sure, or you weren't sure, or you can't get rid of. Tires, you got to pay a lot of money for tires, mattresses. People don't want to take couches and things out to the landfill. They don't want to pay for that, so they just dump it all in the desert, man. It's kind of sad. You go through certain areas and you just see it looks like a wasteland.
$1,000 worth of work for a property developer this year because his property was kind of out of the way and conveniently just outside of Eloy, Arizona. It had tens of thousands of tons of junk just all over the place because people would drive back in the trees and dump sofas and couches and remodel debris and whatever they wanted to. And so doing it the wrong way hurts everybody. Doing it the right
roofing shingles, I see those a lot out in the desert when I'm going out to different places. You know, a lot of different roofing shingles. What else? Like he said, construction debris. A lot of that heavy material that you got to take to the landfill that they're gonna charge you by the ton for. Certain people, and I've never seen them dump it. I just see what was left over. A lot of people do a lot of illegal dumping. I have seen when I do some of my property management cleanouts, especially the one out there in Socorro. I went out there late one Sunday evening to do, just check on it and then pick up a little bit out there and then go back the next day and pick up some more. And I did see a guy driving through there with a truck bed full of yard waste, palm trees and things. And when he saw me picking up a bunch of palm tree branches and things like that, he just kept on driving. But I knew for a fact that guy was planning on dumping his yard waste right there in that area where I always go do my my cleanup.
Right way helps everybody.
Yeah, it's funny out here in California. We have some spots where we always pick up illegal dumping all the time, and there's cameras there. But these people, they don't care. They're gonna go there and dump anyways. And we done